Good evening, everybody. We are so excited to have you tonight on our team call. We have something very special tonight, and I'm super excited. We are going to have a guest speaker tonight, Jordan Roddenberry. We have become friends over the last couple of weeks, and we've been chatting up, and we are both equally so excited about everything that's going on in Plexus and everything that is happening in our team's business. She's also a Silver Stars winner, which is awesome, guys. We know how exciting that is. She went Ruby, Senior Ruby back-to-back months. So that's pretty incredible. We're joking like we must be soul sisters because our paths are going in the same direction. We have green on the brain. And we just love watching our teams flourish and grow and watching you guys hit your ranks and make all of those dreams and goals a reality. So I personally cannot wait to hear from her. So I'm going to turn our meeting over to her, and she's kind of going to hijack us tonight and just pour some of that crazy Senior Ruby wisdom into us. So Jordan, knock us out, girl.
Thank you. Well, you're really sweet. I will tell y'all, whether it's my team or somebody else's team, I work best when you ask questions. I want to tell you what you want to know. And so whether you are brand new or you are pushing Ruby, no question is a dumb question. Ask your questions, because that's where I thrive, is telling you what you want to know. Okay, so first off, let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm not going to tell you my health journey. That's kind of a whole different story, but I will tell you my business journey because it's really random. So 2 years ago, I started the products and I needed them. I had IBS. I mean, I truly needed them. I signed up as an ambassador just because it's cheaper. Y'all have a degree in sales. And so I was like, well, this is dumb. Like, why wouldn't I try and sell this, right? Like, I can do this. So I'll go into this in a minute, but I wasn't very coachable and I didn't ask for help. And so I just started doing what I saw everybody else doing, right? First 2 weeks on the products, I was copying and pasting posts on my Facebook wall. This was about 2 years ago. Copying and pasting stuff on my Facebook wall, got like 0 interest. So 2 or 3 weeks in, I stopped posting. Done, not doing that anymore. That's embarrassing. I'm not going to have that on my sales resume. So I kept doing my orthopedic sales job. I was making good money. And in May of last year, I had my second baby. Okay, did not even think twice about doing Plexus. That entire year, just took products. So in May, I had my baby and I was like, we're going to be paying $400 a week in daycare. And that was a really big hit for us. And then also, I had a whole summer with my babies, both of them, and my husband, and I did not want to go back. Like, not even a little bit. And so something to take away from that, you guys, is timing is everything. Everything. If you are not staying in contact with people that have even told you, no, I don't want this business, timing is everything. And so what I did, I talked with my husband. I didn't even talk with my upline at that point, really. I just found Tara Castaneda on YouTube. And literally for 2 solid weeks, that's all I did. When I was nursing, when everyone was sleeping, I got up early. I was listening to her in the shower. I listened to every training video that she had. And I was like, okay, I can do this. I know I can do this. I know how to do it right now. Or, I mean, kind of. I knew how to do it right. I was 2 weeks in. But I knew how to do it better. And so I told my upline, I said, okay, I think I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it for real this time. I'm not going to dabble. I'm not going to do this as a hobby. I'm going to do this as a job because I want to do this fast because I want to quit my job. And she said, okay, let's go. And so she scheduled my first event. I signed 3 people that week. That's lightning, by the way, on my face. It's like really bad outside. Signed 3 people my first week. I went silver in July, and then I went gold 2 months later, senior gold 2 months later, ruby in March, senior ruby in April, and then my 1-year anniversary of working the business was July of this year, and then I will be emerald by the end of the year. So, morals of that story. A, be genuine on your Facebook, you guys. I I say this till I'm blue in the face with my team. If you're copying and pasting, you're not being vulnerable, and nobody is going to want on your team. You have got to be vulnerable and genuine. And I will say, like, Katelynn and Megan, like, they're great at this. They talk about the business all the time, and they talk about the joys of this. They are so genuine. You have some really great uplines to follow suit with, but be genuine, okay? And then another thing is timing. I already said that, but timing is everything. It truly is. And this came to me when I needed it most. Another thing is, if you're treating this like a hobby, you will get paid like a hobby. And if you're treating this like a business, you will be paid like a business. And I have girls on my team that say, I want this, but they're not willing to do the work. And I'm sorry, but if you're not willing to do the work, then I'm not going to spend my time working with you. Because what does John Maxwell say all the time? You have to spend, 80% of your time with 20% of your people. And so if you are a silver or a gold or whatever rank you are on this team, and you have people coming to you saying, hey, I really want to do this. Hold their hand, help them as much as you can. But if they're not willing to do the work, like I wasn't willing to do the work a year ago, 2 years ago, then you got to move on. Love on them a lot, but see you when you're ready. That's my mentality. And it's not rude, but it's just business. That's how it has to be. Okay. So that's a little bit about me. Y'all have any questions about that first? I love questions. Please ask questions if you have them.
I love what you said about like wanting it. Like wanting your business is not working your business. Mm-hmm. There's definitely a line there. So I love that you said that, and you're so right. Like the 80-20 rule goes so far with where you're focusing your time. And you're right. You're not being rude. You're just prioritizing your business and the way things need to be done. And when it is their time, they will be right there and ready. So I love that. I'm like taking notes over here.
Good. Well, I think it's actually, I'm going to read here just a second from this book to you guys. I think it's in this book where she talks about, where interest and commitment meet is where you find your runners. So people can be interested all day, but if they're not committed, they're not going to go anywhere. You have to have both. And so that's kind of along the same lines. For sure. But Katelynn, I know you do this well. Nobody double ranks in the same month and doesn't have some of this down and isn't duplicating that down. So this is not probably anything new that you guys are hearing, but sometimes it's just good to hear it from somebody else. So, or maybe in a different way. I think I scare people sometimes, but hopefully it's in a good way. Anything else y'all took away, or y'all have any questions about before I go into the next section?
No, Jordan, I just love your story to hear that, like, you weren't ready to do the business at that time, and now all of a sudden, look at you, you're a senior Ruby heading into Emerald. Like, it's just like, it just shows proof to you that, like, you have people on your team right now, it might not be their time, but you have no idea what could happen from a month from now, 2 months from now, a year from now. Like, it's just awesome to just hear that. Like, you have to have hope in all of this, that it might be eventually somebody's time, and it would seriously, you can just run with it. So hearing your story is really awesome. So thank you.
Oh yeah, I'm glad. And I truly believe that God gave me that story because, when you see someone going really fast with the business, sometimes that can be defeating. But when I tell them the first year of my story, they're like, oh, okay, you failed too. So I truly believe that whole story is God-given, and I'm really thankful for that first year where I fell on my face. It was great. Okay. So I don't cuss, but I'm going to say a cuss word. So if you have kids, I'm sorry. This book, Get Over Your Damn Self. So I don't think you guys have read this. I talked to Katelynn a little bit, but my team is doing a book study over it right now. And so it's really fresh on my mind. And in this book, it talks about the 4 reasons why people fail at network marketing. And I could probably go on for a really long time, like digging deep into each one, but I'm just going to kind of give you a highlight of each one. And then if y'all have questions, I'm happy to talk, and then I will leave the rest of the call to you guys. Okay, so the first one, the first reason why people fail is that you're not coachable. It says if someone isn't seeing success, it's almost always because they are not following the system, either because they don't trust it or because they are arrogant enough to think that they can do it faster, stronger, better. So put yourself into that. For me, I thought I was faster, stronger, better, right? I can do this better. I wasn't coachable, and I didn't even ask for help because I didn't need it. But I have seen many people come into this business that I know have a lot of potential, and I tell them things and it goes in one ear and out the other. And now I don't know everything, but I do know enough to get me to Senior Ruby, and I want to help you. And so if you are not coachable and you're not listening and you're not taking in everything your leaders are saying, fix it. I have been around a few diamonds in the last, year. And one of the things that I have picked up from every single one of them is that they always ask me questions. They are never spouting off all this information to me. They're always trying to absorb more, even from me. Like when I was a gold ambassador, they were like, what did you do to earn silver stars? I'm like, you're asking me? But that's how they are. And that's what leadership is, right? It's always absorbing more and that personal growth. So anyway, be coachable. That's the first one. The second one, let me find it really quick. It says they don't treat this, the second reason people fail is because they don't treat it like a business. If you treat your business like a hobby, it'll pay you like a hobby. But if you treat it like a business, it's going to pay you like a business. So, and I think I already said that earlier to you guys. But I know whenever I read this, it was on my way to Silver Stars trip. And I wrote down, I said, what are you afraid of? And that's what I asked my team, like, what are you afraid of? Why are you not going all in? Jessica Heffley is my upline, or my diamond upline. And so she always says, if somebody is not in action, it's either one of two reasons. They either have a belief issue or they have something going on at home. And so if somebody's not treating this like a business, it's probably one of those two reasons. There's probably a few more, but fear falls into belief. So anyway, that's your number two. The third reason, let me find it. Okay, reason number three, they're not willing to get uncomfortable. New business builders hide behind getting ready to get ready because it's safer. You are getting ready to get ready all the time. I have a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, hey, I'm doing events. I've spent like 20 hours setting it up. I've got this. I'm like, okay, 20 hours setting up an event is great. But what if you did 20 hours of IPA? Like, oh my goodness. So getting ready to get ready. That's one of the reasons people fail. It says, you'll only grow really big if you're willing to make mistakes and then learn from them. You're not stretching yourself and you're not trying hard enough. This book steps on your toes a lot. So getting uncomfortable. That's the only way to do this business. And the reason number four, somebody does not succeed is they're not hungry enough. Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. When she says life happens to all of us every single day, she says that the reason that she got hungry enough was because she looked down the road 5 and 10 years into the future and was scared to death. I saw a future of getting by, but not getting ahead, not giving our kids all the things I wanted to give them. I was willing to do whatever it took to build it. It had to work. So that goes back to your why. In the next chapter, she talks about your why, but why are you here? What are you doing? If you're not hungry enough, first off, you're probably going back to a belief issue, right? Or a fear issue. But like for me, what drove me, I know in January, my why got bigger. God gave us a 17-year-old boy that we were going to now raise. Like he was one of my husband's students. And I had to have plexus. I had to. There was no other way to do that. Like we could not support that. They eat a lot of cereal. Okay. And so I feel like God always gives you a why when you don't have one, if you listen hard enough and if you pray hard enough for it. And if you're not hungry enough, I would encourage you to get with your sponsor and figure out your why, or pray about your why. Because if you pray hard enough, a lot of times God gives it to you. But anyway, and that's kind of what I think was a turning point for me. Was I had a second baby. My why changed, and your why is always changing. And that's one of the biggest reasons I see people falling off once they hit silver or gold, and then they're like, I think I'm done, is because they haven't let their why evolve with them. They've kind of just been stagnant, and they've reached their why. So why keep going? So anyway, stay hungry enough. It always changes. And that's what I have for y'all. So what do y'all think about that? Or what questions do you have?
Okay, so this is not like a question, but I loved the question that you posed for people about, like, what is holding you back? Like, what fears do you have? Like, that's such a simple question. And I feel like, and we definitely don't ask it enough. Like, I was just sitting there going, like, why do I not ask people this question more often? Like, that would really help us get to the point of what is happening here if we were just asking you, like, what's holding you back, and then kind of like talk through that. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes you can pick it up through conversation and just, different things that they say, but that is like just such a point blank question. I love that.
I honestly, I ask all of my silvers all of my people that are trying to go silver, what I'll ask them, how much time are you willing to spend every day, and what's your biggest fear? And we just dive into it. And so, yeah, I love that.
I love that. And I love that book too. That's super good.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's an interesting book study if you try to do it as a team.
Yeah, I've done it just with like a few people. We just did like a small little one. And yeah, it's good. It really challenges you in the way that you're thinking about it. And I won't go into any more of the book, but it's good.
It is.
Yeah, that's definitely, I did that with Megan, like the book. I would highly suggest you getting it, but it does step on your toes and it kind of puts you into check a little bit. So be prepared for that. But I kind of revisited this with a couple people on the team over the last couple of weeks about their why, like, just like she's saying, being, hungry enough. Like, if you do not have a big enough why, there are bumps in this business, there are potholes in this business, and that why has to get you out. And she's right. It totally does evolve with you. If it hadn't, I would still be a silver because I was like, okay, that was my goal. Go silver, like whatever. But then my why grew, and like having that vision casted for me of what I could have and what my family could have and the opportunities we would have, as it evolved, like it really does push you through. So that's definitely a good point of being hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else have any questions while we have her?
I just wanted to say that I really liked what you said about, not so much pouring into the people who say that they want it but don't show that they want it, because what I'm noticing is there are a lot of people who will say, yeah, I really want it, but they don't put a lot into it. And for a while I found myself putting a lot of myself into people who just said that they wanted it but didn't put the work in. They weren't necessarily being coachable and everything. And I like your approach about that, just being a little more on, having more of a stern mind and just saying, when you're ready, I'll be here. But for right now, if you're not doing what you need to do, then, I'm going to spend my time on someone who does. I really took that in. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm pretty bold. I don't know if y'all have studied. I'm sure you have the color personalities. I'm red to a fault. I mean, it is red, red, red. There's no yellow in my body. But I say it in a very tactful way. Mm-hmm. But I have girls who have gone silver and said, okay, I just don't think I want to do, I'm not sure I can put the time in. I say, okay, that's great. You just let me know when you're ready and I'm here for you. And done. I mean, and I love on them. I check in on them, see how they're doing on their products. But at that point, I'm pouring into somebody who's ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry if y'all can hear my kids. They're crazy.
I think she just described you, Katelynn.
I was going to say, and this is why we're friends.
I have a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. It's fun times.
Anybody else before we let her go?
Well, thank y'all.
All right.
Thank y'all. Let me help on here and
Thank
be bold with
you.
you.
We loved having you. I really appreciate it. And I think everybody definitely, I know I am taking something away from this. Absolutely. But thank you so much for jumping on with us.
Awesome. Thank y'all. Have a good night.
Thank you.